Part 2, witchcraft in the church. If you are aligned with God and you pay attention when you're given a warning, why can't you see when there is witchcraft going on in the church? Americans aren't used to this. They do this in Africa all the time. The churches are fit, not only Africa, in the Caribbean island too. Because the person that gets the most demons out are the person who makes the most money from these, people giving offerings and stuff in church. But see, now it's moving to America because there's more money to be made in the churches here, where it's done there all the time there. But America, you're allowed, I would say move to America and Europe and other countries. But you're allowing it in because you just believe it. These preachers tell you, oh, yes, they talked like the one man said he talked to Jesus when he was 7 years old. Nobody questioned him or nothing. They just believe it. And if God hasn't told you anything, then you're not as close as you thought you were to God. This one man, I was listening to his testimony. He said he got an invitation to go to one of those churches. When he went, he was singled out. They laid hands on him. He showed the video where he was all over the floor screaming and hollering. But a week later, he became very possessed with demonic forces and started having negative, perverted thoughts about sex. He said this went on for like several months. He was just doing things. It was things that he just wouldn't do. And what was going on is when they laid hands on him and touched him at this church, clearly they filled him with a lot of these demonic forces. So this man was going through a lot. Just because he took an invitation to go to another church. And then somebody was telling me the other day, like, her friend had went to a church and they laid hands on her and how she was filled with demonic forces. You have to be careful who you lay hands on you. I always tell people you need to be careful. People do a lot of hugging nowadays. They always want to hug you. You have to be careful who hug you. You don't know what's jumping out of them, jumping into you. A lot of times, have you noticed when you hug people, especially if you're in the front, your solar plex, I told you all already about the chakras. And your solar plexus is right there in the pit of your stomach. Like, that's your solar plexus. So your solar plexus, when you hug somebody, if you're standing up, you're going to hug face to face. Your solar plexus is going to touch. How do you know what's junk coming in you? You don't. You are just so quickly to let people hug you or touch you or claim they're putting an anointing on you or whatever the case might be. You're not coming into my energy field hugging on me. And I have seen people go to so far, like they'll say, oh, I'm a hugger, and just bombard their way into your energy field to hug you. You don't know what's jumping off of them, jumping on you. You've got to be careful. It's just the days we live in. You have to be careful. Stop letting people hug you, think that it's loving. They're coming from a place of love. Because sometimes they know what they're doing. Sometimes they may not know, but sometimes they know what they're doing. And you're letting people hug you that you know nothing about them, nothing. You have to be careful. It's a part in the Bible that says, watch as well as pray. That means pay attention to your surroundings. Don't just pray and think everything gonna be okay. Pay attention to your surroundings. Watch as well as pray. I don't know what is going on, like with these pastors coming from foreign countries, Africa mostly, and they're coming over to allegedly, and they're coming over to America and filling the churches with all of this witchcraft and stuff. And people are just buying it up, eating it up. It's not only from Africa, so I shouldn't have said that, because this girl showed me a church from Indonesia. And the lady was casting out demons and everything. And she was showing me that. And the moment I saw this lady doing that, when I looked at it, the moment it came to me, she was a false prophet. And then the same thing with the African person too. My cousin had shown me that, and I immediately know they weren't for real. You should have that close relationship with the mighty I am, so that you know that if somebody is doing this, that they're not real. I've heard this one man said he moved all the way across from the East Coast to the West Coast to go to one of these churches in California. He just wanted to be around this pastor because the pastor was so cosmetic, just he just felt, I guess, close to him. But he was saying that he could tell the more money you gave him in church, the better he would treat people, the more money you would give. So after he moved across country to go to this church, started going to this church in California, God gave him a message that this was a false prophet. Now, by this time, the man had moved and everything. He should have asked God prior. Before he moved, he should have asked God, is this what I should do? Is this message coming from you that I should move, to be where this preacher is? He didn't do that. He started going to the church. I think he went once or twice. But after that, God showed him this man was not of God. And he, stopped going. But he said he was still feeling drawn to go and wanted to go. And, the church still had a pull on him. But his wife, I guess she was the strongest between the two. And between him and his wife. And the wife put down her feet like, no, I feel like God just wants to go here. We are not going. And so that was shut right down. It's a good thing they trusted God too, because some people are hearing a message, don't do such and such, and they do it anyway. For whatever reason, they're not trusting that voice. And then some people immediately trust that inner voice and they'll stop doing whatever they're doing and stop going to church or whatever the message is telling them to do. So when you're going to a new church or new environment with new people and you don't know anything about them, you need to focus your attention within. Put your attention inside of yourself so that you could connect with your mighty I am to see what messages you're going to get about that. Is this okay to be here? Is this something I shouldn't be involved in? Don't just keep going and keep doing or going, whatever. You keep feeling drawn in, by listening to the teaching, and you're just constantly feeling drawn in, and you're not trying to understand why you're feeling drawn in, or ask like, God, what is going on here? Why do I feel so drawn to this? Is this church of yours? Is this church of the light? What is this? When my cousin first sent me a video of this church, I could see, so one of the things that this prophet was doing, he was, this one person wanted some healing or something. He initially said he didn't know the people, but he was trying to find a family member or something. Then I could see that he's seen the person who the wheelchair belonged to. And that person was the man. That person could walk around. But what they immediately did, and I saw this on the video, what they immediately did is act like the man had just started walking. Now I seen the man walking towards the pastor. So it was clear that he had not just started walking, but that's the way made it look. And they took the wheelchair and, throwing it up in the air and throwing it away and all this. And I thought, wow, I mean, it was very clear that the man did not just get up and walk, but they were trying to, act like the preacher had just healed him quickly and suddenly. You have to pay attention, but it's hard to pay attention when you just believe everything they saying. Even the Bible tells you in the last days there's going to be false prophets and rumors of false prophets. It's going to be discord in the family's home between the son and the father and the mother and the daughter. But do we pay attention to that? No. But again, I think I would ask yourself, why am I not discerning that this is not of God? What is going on with me that I'm not connected with God and I can't see that this is not of God? Do you ever think that yourself? Or you just want to keep saying, "Oh yes, I know this pastor. He is of God." Now nowadays, when people come out and contradicting or telling them, "Oh, this preacher is not of God," they usually have receipts. They're showing receipts why they say this man is not of God. Are you just dismissing the receipts? What is it that you can't see that the churches are being filled up with all this witchcraft? And the thing is it is spreading, people. It's spreading. These prophets are going way to Canada. They're traveling around the world. They're going to China. They are traveling everywhere to put out their message. And they're all false prophets taking your money. And I always say they're spreading around that negative demonic energy. It's not like just in Africa no more, just in New York no more. It is all over because they have enough money from the money that you're sending them, because that's the money they get, that they buying their fancy homes and everything else, paying for their girlfriends, paying for lawyers, paying for the travel. They're getting it from you. So their ministry is growing because of you. And they're going into places that maybe they never could have got in before. We have to be so careful. You need to maybe sit in meditation or align yourself with God more, so that you would be able to get a message when a prophet is false. What do you need a prophet for anyway? God can communicate with you himself and tell you whatever he needs to tell you. You don't need to go through anybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the Patricia Show. My name is Patricia. Make sure you watch as well as pray.